guys again, it's me here, your Mutterline Emperor here. I'm going to do reaction of the Undertaker Last Ride chapter, and it's called Revelation, and it's going to be the Undertaker chap scenes, because I know YouTube are being literally, or like WWE and YouTube being taking my videos down, but no matter what, I always love The Undertaker, and I think this is going to be the last chapter of The Undertaker, because I'm a big fan of The Undertaker, and I'm wearing the Undertaker t-shirt, and I'm literally going to say, thank you, Taker, but no matter what, The Undertaker will always be one of the greatest wrestlers, in my opinion, one of the greatest attitude errors in ever lived, and he's the one who got me into wrestling when I was a little boy and when I was a little kid, and I was so invested in The Undertaker. The Undertaker is one of my all-time favourite legends. No matter what, he'll always be one of my all-time greatest. But let's get down to it. Let's get down to the chapter of The Undertaker Last Ride. And he's going to be talking about when his dream opponent was AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36. Let's get down to this. Here we go. The Royal Rumble. That was a good match. That's one of my. I sort of get the plaque.
Felt good. Everyone else just going, oh, they want to see more. And man, you get goosebumps thinking about it. Just a crazy feeling. It's indescribable. I'm not articulate enough to describe to you that feeling and that rush that you get from that crowd pumping into you right now.
Because I got my due respects for The Undertaker.
I cannot remember when The Undertaker has looked that damn good.
He is. He is that damn good.
I came through the curtain, just whispered in his ear, so I said, I think it's it.
I'm done.
He was like, Mark, whatever you want to do. I think you got a lot more left. But it's your decision. You do what's right for you. It kind of went too good, a little bit. I might have a couple more left, but yeah, I gotta get through that. I gotta work through that. The kid in me, it's always rooting for him and always there. I always want to see that continue. The friend in me, there's a certain time where I gotta choose a different path.
Exactly.
Good about where I was, and I left Philadelphia. I was happy. The match came off the way it was supposed to go. Went to Hawaii for 2 weeks. Had a great time. I was content.
I wouldn't count you out just yet. I really always expect him to come back. I think the pressure puts himself plays a part of it, but like Undertaker's been his identity for 30 years. And it's been his identity for so long, I think he just isn't sure what Mark Calloway does next.
Yeah. What's the next for him?
We're going to have a lot of conversations in that time, and the I'm done conversation, maybe he believed it, maybe he didn't.
Oh shit. I just clicked the wrong button, but
the easiest person to lie to is yourself. The dragon is still there. And you're still chasing. You're not done. What he deserves is not the moment. He deserves to be satisfied.
Should be free. 2 months later. I know I'm gonna get copyright from YouTube, but I don't give a damn. This is the thing. I'm here to do my reaction.
Of the WWE, that's special. That's just something you don't get all the time.
I do my reaction. Like,
one of my favorite aspects of working in this building is all the iconic shots in the hallways. When I came out of my dressing room, the first thing that I saw was Elvis, and then right next to Elvis was Ali. I would look at those pictures right before I went out, knowing that I was about to go out and perform in the same arena as two of my lifelong idols had done. It's almost putting a tear in a glass eye, right? Seems kind of hokey, but for me, it was just a little bit of a reminder of the importance of Madison Square Garden. I mean, that was just truth.
Square Gardens. And this is the thing. I know I'm gonna get copyright for this, but I'm gonna say this to YouTube directly.
Everybody knows it takes.
If you're trying to take this video down, I don't care. I always got my deep respect for the Undertaker and just.
If I'm gonna be back. I want these people, not only in the garden but everywhere I've worked, to know how much I appreciate them and how much they've sustained me and helped me get to the ring on nights when the aches and the pains and the broken bones and everything else were going on. It was their cheering and them holding up their lighters and them shouting "Rest in Peace" that would get me through a lot of nights.
I'll cry my eyes out. I'm not gonna tears.
Come out here and take a minute to absorb all this. For the past 30 years, I've considered these hallowed grounds my home.
Undertaker. I love Mark Calloway's The Undertaker, and it's such a terrific story. It'd be really cool if they do it on DVD, and I literally get it straight away.
Remember about this place, the legends that made their name here.
And you're one of them. You're one of them. You're one of those legends.
Right here in Madison Square Garden.
That's right.
And that's special. After nearly 30 years.
Yeah, and I am literally gonna say this, guys. The Undertaker is one of my all-time greatest childhood, and I'm gonna miss him. And I'm proud. This is gonna be his last match with AJ Styles.
If I don't walk in the ring or get in the ring again, perform in the ring again, I'm okay. And it took me a long time to get to that spot. You know, I would be at home and think, yeah, I'm good. And then I would come to work, and you get an ovation and that kind of energy out there, and then you think, yeah, I can still do this. You know.
When you're in the business that we're in, you live to see how many people can get in a building. You live for the crowds. You live for the pops.
All the crowds respect you.
Finding something that brings you all those same highs and all the great stuff that comes with the business and that adrenaline and all the stuff. It can't take a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, your mind plays tricks on you. In 1 minute, you think, I can't do this the way I used to do this anymore, and you know that, but
So what you feel.
the same way, and
It's your choice. Is how this is the thing. If
you can move the way you did, and you can't. When you have to start thinking about this, it becomes really difficult.
what you've been loving for the business, and I'm gonna say this right now. I always gonna love Taker, no matter what he does for the business and does for the fans, including myself. I've been a fan of his for many years.
As well as I used to move. I don't have the reaction time that I once did.
Mm.
Due to injuries, I don't have the strength that I used to have. And all those things, they start getting in your head, and you worry about something catastrophic happening. Something nearly catastrophic happened in Saudi.
Tears in my eyes.
It wasn't anybody's fault. It was just something that happened. But
exactly, it's nobody's
I
fault.
was 2 inches probably away from having my neck broken.
It's nobody's fault.
I was 2 inches away from making my wife a widow, and my kids fatherless. Once those thoughts, once they get in there, it's really difficult to get them out.
Once you start
I understand. I feel the same way.
You just keep hearing that voice of, man, I really could have hurt myself bad. The shackles on your mind of, do I do this? Do I stop now? Do I keep going? That's rough.
Where am I going to be 10 years from now if I keep going? And especially if I don't have that burning desire here to go out and do it. The big part of it is I'm okay. I'm okay mentally and emotionally if I'm not an in-ring performer anymore.
To me, you always been a ring performer because.
I really want to capture with his last few years, and
I to me, it would not be felt the same without Taker, but I'm happy for the Undertaker
I think anything else
ride off to the sunset. And I really want the Undertaker to be going in the Hall of Fame because Mark Calloway deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
I did that, working my way to where I am now, where I'm good to walk away. Because when we started this whole thing, I wasn't, I wasn't. So it's all good, man. It's all good.
Oh my God, I'm not tearing up. Is this just?
Not to be a prima donna, but if you could go to makeup and find something to like, yeah, I'm glad you said it, not me. I don't wear makeup, man. This is my war mask. That's what I used to tell my dad. I brought my dad one time when he was still alive. I was in Houston, working at the old Summit. I brought my dad backstage with me. He was kind of shadowing me everywhere I went, and it was time to start getting ready. He was asking me questions about my boots or whatever it was, my hat, my coat. And then I took the eyes and I looked over at him. He was just like, he's just shaking his head like, yes, Dad. 6'8", 330-pound son is putting on eye makeup. He's like, I would never. But there was nobody any prouder than my dad. No one more upset about my career choice, but no one more proud by the end of it. It was because I was in college. I had a full scholarship, and I decided that I wanted to become a professional wrestler. I thought that was the stupidest thing. You get an education, now you get to go play basketball. Are you kidding me? And everything's paid for. You're walking away from. What are you going to do in the rest of your life? I'll figure it out then. I miss it. The priority of my life is to be a good husband and father. So.
It's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard without him. Orlando.
Go in 5, 4, 3. I could not start.
The Breaking Skull
Debut episode of the Broken Skull Sessions.
Seasons
Another guest than I have tonight.
2019.
He's on the Mount Rushmore and the greatest character in the history of the business. The one and only Undertaker. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, man. Been a minute.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling, 30 plus years. I think, you probably got a pretty good idea.
Two of the greatest legends and performers in that ring.
to see behind the hat and the coat. And I couldn't keep my stuff straight at home.
Right.
But if you had a problem at work, I could help you out.
Yeah.
But that's how engrossed I was in what we did.
He was just taking the temperature, going with what his gut was telling him in his heart. And
Yeah.
can't say anybody ever loves the business more than I do. But a guy who loves the business like he does, and that's a bunch, and he's still wondering what's next.
What gets me is when people tell me what I need to do.
Yeah.
You know, nobody knows what I need but me, in the sense of when it's time.
Yeah, it's your time. It's your time.
There's got to be some finale.
It's his. That's what I love about.
I'm gonna write my own story.
Is what I love about him. It's his choice and his choice only, and his only decisions if he wants to continue on with this or he just.
Said that he watched the podcast with Stone Cold and he wants to retire on his own terms.
Pride is it's not so much that I feel like I have anything left to prove to the business or give to the business. It's personal challenges with me.
It almost sounded like he was going to go one more match or maybe two more. And I thought,
Yeah.
he's going to do something. How can I be one of those matches if he's going to do more than one? I just want to be one.
Broke his whole sessions with the Undertaker, Mark Calloway. Cheers.
Enjoyed it. I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. All he can say is no. It's not a big deal. I didn't ask Vince. Vince, Taker doesn't want to do it. Well, then it's not going to happen. So I called Undertaker. I mean, we just started chatting.
I had a pretty good idea what he was calling for. He goes, when you were on Steve's show, you said you were going to kind of go do things on your own terms. What's that mean? I mean, are you going to work and you want to do something? Because I would love to do something with you at Mania. And I was like, oh, man, I don't know. I was like, bro, honestly, I said, I would have loved to work with you 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I said, man, I think we could have tore
Your house down.
I said, I don't have any,
And he did.
aspirations of getting back in
And
the ring. Man, I just,
and I'm proud of AJ, and I'm literally proud of the Undertaker. I think to me that stole the night.
AJ Styles. That's who I'm going to have my last match with. Because AJ is a guy who, from an athletic standpoint, can help him have that final chapter, I think. We talked about
I quite agree.
Some of his matches with smaller guys like Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, Triple H.
Matches.
For some reason, I really tend to understand the dynamic between someone my size and someone AJ's size. And then putting something together that people can sink their teeth into and understand and get the story.
These guys are throwing bombs at each other.
I think he is an awesome storyteller with his matches.
Night after night, AJ Styles continues to be the best performer of our generation. In my opinion, AJ Styles is the best wrestler on 2 feet right now.
He is.
Undertaker can trust him. And at this point in Undertaker's career right now, he's got to be out there with someone he can trust.
And that's AJ Styles.
Oddly enough, we've been vacationing with one of AJ's best friends for almost 10 years. So we've gotten to know AJ and Wendy and his kids through them. So AJ reached out and was like, hey, take if you've got one more in you, I'd be honored. And Mark looked at me and I was like, nobody better. There's absolutely nobody better to get into the ring with if you're going to do it. You could. And it's like, really? You're like steering me in the direction I thought you wouldn't steer me in. I'm like, it's AJ. Like, it could be magic.
So I said, give me a couple weeks to think about this, and then I'll get back with you.
I said, well, just so you know, whatever your decision is, it's the right one.
When you're AJ Styles and you're as good as AJ Styles is, when you call Mark, that's an intriguing dragon to chase.
Orlando, Florida, January 2016-2020.
This murderer's row. Damn. Y'all leaving the room for me? Yeah, let me take my
I promised Matt Bloom that I would come down here and work with some of the big guys. I'm pretty sure they were all fairly nervous. A lot of the times guys really don't look genuine because they're trying to be something that they're not. And that's a difficult thing to figure out. once they found out that I wasn't going to shred them, I think they felt a little more comfortable. Everything looked like it was there. That's a nice way of saying that was some stiff shit.
The business is in his heart. He wants to give everything he has to anybody who will listen. So anytime we're in Orlando, he's at the PC.
Yeah.
He's helping the guys and he's helping the girls.
It's, I think, not only important that people like The Undertaker pass on their knowledge, it's imperative to the survival of the business. This business has always been handed down from one to the next, to the generation to the generation. They make it theirs, then they pass that knowledge down on to others.
I quite agree.
I got to know him best on European tours, picking his brain, cracking open a cold one after a match. I remember my first match with him, it was on SmackDown.
SmackDown 2000.
I could tell he liked me because I was arm dragging him, hip tossing him, giving him backdrops. He was taking all these bumps for me because he wanted to go out there and really make the young kid look good.
Oh my god. As a young Randy Orton there.
I remember we came back through Gorilla and Vince was like, "What are you doing?" And Undertaker just looked at him and goes, "Well, it's good for the kid. I'm trying to make the kid. Isn't that what we do?" And that response right there I thought was so cool, and it just showed me he just wants to make me look good because he knows that I'll return the favor farther down the line.
This business is forever. The Undertaker character is forever, but I'm not. And it's my responsibility to guide these younger guys, help them
And lift them up.
the best that they can be. You know, it makes this industry stronger.
He teaches everyone everything. That's just.
And that's why you'd always be the leader. No matter what. And I will literally say this right now.
To say I learned one thing from him is.
One of the greatest leader of the locker room is Taker. No matter what, he is one of the greatest locker room.
Him as a mentor and a leader and a teacher.
You damn right he is. He's a great locker room person.
You know, he would basically tell me what I did wrong or what I could do better, and then I would just take that and run.
Next day.
This is the first time I'll be in a ring since Extreme Rules. I told myself I was going to try and keep myself in some semblance of shape. Of course, that went right out the window. We'll see what these boys really learn today. As far as the comeback today, what happens is going to be how I make my decision. My plan is just kind of work around with those guys and then kind of morph into doing more stuff myself. So I can really make an honest assessment of where I'm at.
I think The Undertaker, I think Mark Calloway as The Undertaker, I think he'll be a great teacher for learning for young students.
That fire, their youth, their desire, it's like jumping in the fountain of youth. That's how you don't become the bitter old guy. You surround yourselves with young people that are fresh and hungry and knowledgeable, and you talk about it and you engage in it.
When you're around these guys, you know, who are hungry and working so hard, you know, you always get motivated. You know, like, you gotta step it off. I knew at some point through these 2 days that I had to assess where I'm at.
You still look good.
I just want to make sure that I feel like I'm going to ask my body to do something, you know, it's going to answer. I felt much better than I thought I was going to. I felt like my stride was long, felt pretty natural. I'm still kind of torn. I know I can do it physically. Mentally, I have to figure out if I'm 100% in, which I have to be. I can't be this half-assed.
Yeah.
I left on a very high note. Extreme Rules really far exceeded my expectations.
And you know, and I would say that Extreme Rules is one of my all-time favorite. Yes.
If I decide to do this, I go out and
I literally got the DVD of it.
Now what, right? You can't stop like there. You now you got to keep going and redeem this. Toronto, I worked with Flair, and it was WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 18, May 17th, 2022.
How his self-confidence was in the tank after WCW. And I just couldn't understand. I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, you're Ric Flair. Like, you know, you are wrestling. This is what wrestling is about. You know, human nature for it. You know, all that. I didn't understand until these last few years. I know exactly now what he was talking about. I know what that self-doubt feels like. Don't worry about the hard work. It's just, you know, all the sacrifices that Michelle's going to have to make. You know, time that I'm going to have to spend away from my daughter. I'm going to have to go home and think about it, talk with my family about it, pray about it. This thing will go on forever. The longest documentary in the history of documentaries. Undertaker would not die.
He will live forever. Then, now, and forever.
With a walker.
Undertaker will not die.
Hopefully I'll get some.
He'll be in our hearts till
I know they need an answer.
longest forever. In our dreams, on our memories, and our childhoods.
Watch some of his stuff. I've always really enjoyed watching him work, and I was like, crap. It's like every time I think I'm out, they pull me right back in. So I said, all right. I'm going to do it. I'll do it. I decided I was going to do it, but I gave myself a couple more days before I made any phone calls, just to make sure that my mind wasn't going to change. Called Vince up. I tried to rib AJ, and I said, look, I'm going to do it, but I want you to call AJ for me. I want you to let him know that I'm going to work Mania, but just tell him that I'm going to work with somebody else.
Vince, well, I'll talk to Taker. There's some kid in Tennessee he wants to get over civil net hook. What? He goes, no, I'm serious. You probably need to call him. And then I called Taker and said, listen, there's this younger kid that I want to put over. I was like, bull crap, man. That's bull. You know, so it was, they tried to rip me, but come on.
At the Super Showdown at February 27th at 2020.
Well, it doesn't mean that much to him. It's another WrestleMania for the Undertaker. But for me, I get to get in the ring with the Undertaker. This is huge. This is the biggest match of my career. No doubt about it. Just want to make sure that he goes, you know what? If I'm going to retire, maybe this is the one to do it on. I want him to be so satisfied with this match that it could be done if he wanted to.
I couldn't think of a better person to have my last WrestleMania match with, for sure. I don't think there's anybody else out there that I would have come back for. I know that for a fact. There's nobody.
It is a beautiful evening here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. A huge crowd expected for Super Showdown. A big night of action here at Super Showdown. I can't wait to see what goes down.
Undertaker, I love you. I really love you. I'm a big fan. Really.
When I went to trips, we heard doors, and we ain't going over yet. I mean, y'all must be just taking it to the next level, though. That's what it is. You know, that's what it is. The foundation you laid, right? And then we try to go over that. You like to go over all the minutia. That's a strong. Like when I grab your wrist, should it be here or on your top? Right. We want it to be precise. The details. Right. It's all in the details. Yes.
They didn't have high def television.
Right.
So now we gotta make sure everything.
Right. Extra angle. Or does that pop too much? Expose too much palm?
that time, I had been off TV for a little while again, and it was the right place. That was obviously a big event, and it was a great place to.
Every time it is a big event, goosebumps, chills down my spine, and I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Phenom, the Undertaker, is here at Super Showdown. The Reaper has arrived. AJ Styles said that he's the best superstar of any era, that he can beat any superstar. What do you think is going through the mind of AJ Styles now? AJ going for the right and choke slam. Undertaker.
2, 3.
There will never ever be anyone like the Undertaker.
There is no one be like him.
You're here for a good time? Not a long time. Well, it's always going to be longer than that. I don't think it takes too big a brain surgeon to figure out what's going to happen. Kobe. This is kind of the launching pad. So Mania. Last year, we made a collective decision that I was not dealing with card, and I was okay with it until I was actually sitting in the stadium, and I was like, my insides are telling me, like, you need to be out there. I'm excited to kick things off. Couldn't be more excited with, who I'm going to face, and anxious to see how it all turns out.
And then when it's problems, when it was COVID-19. At May 10th,
At this point, it all starting to flow back. Back in here, he's training like an animal again, trying to diet and do everything right. Just like fell right back into the whole what I should be doing at this time of the year, You got anything to do to Harry? I don't know. So he's got the deadlift bar out. He's got these salt bikes. He's probably got something really sinister planned for me since I've been here. Knock the cobwebs off.
There's really not a lot of adding strength or size or anything like that. It's just about his lung capacity and being able to stand 25, 35 minute match.
Oh!
That's when you know it's going to be a good match, when your nose starts bleeding while you're training.
Oh, damn.
That was fun.
Oh my god.
I'll be 55 years old when I step into the ring at Mania. So that means my cardio needs to be better than it was for Cena, better than it was for Roman. I don't want him waiting on me for anything, regardless of whatever happens in the course of the match. I don't want to be a step behind. In a singles match with somebody the caliber of Styles, there's nowhere to hide, man. If you're not conditioned, if you're not ready, you get exposed.
Yeah.
As many critics that I have out there that say, just retire, get out of the ring. It's like I said on Steve's show, I'm going to do this on my terms.
Yeah, your terms, and I understand that. I am completely understand, but I want to stop him right there. Like, as a human being, I was worried about him. Yeah, it's on his terms, and his terms only to retire. If he wants to go and do one last match, go on ahead. And if he wants to do it, he wants to do it. And I don't blame him. But I'm always going to be worried for the character, and I'm always going to be worried for the person. Because The Undertaker is one of the legacy of this industry of all times.
18 times as hard as I ever have to record the results.
I know no matter what, I always going to keep my loving and respecting for Mark Calloway. I'm going to give a big shout out to him as well, if he's watching this video right now. On Raw, May 9th, 2020.
3 years ago at WrestleMania, I saw The Undertaker get beat by Roman Reigns.
At WrestleMania
And after
33.
the match, The Undertaker folded his jacket, took off his gloves and his hat, and laid them nice and neat, right in the middle of the ring. As if he were riding off into the sunset. It was a beautiful, powerful moment.
It was.
The one thing I've learned about WWE is that it's all about the moments.
And The Undertaker ruined it. He ruined it when he came back to the WWE.
That's the key. I want to find a way to make as many moments as possible. This is going to be personal between AJ Styles and The Undertaker.
You've already lost your dignity, your pride, your mystique.
I'm going to make it so personal, you're not going to want to leave until finally Undertaker destroys AJ Styles.
I don't know what keeps him coming back, but I've got a pretty good idea. It's his wife.
The build up for WrestleMania has been unexpected.
And she plays him like a fiddle. Anything and everything
Wow.
she wants, she gets. Despite her husband walking down the aisle, getting in this ring, and getting hurt every time he steps in it now.
I didn't know that he was going to cut such a good promo that I was going to start hating him for a second.
Undertaker,
I don't blame you,
wife
hun. I
is
mean,
gonna run
ma'am.
into the ground. And I'm going to help her.
I actually text Alan's wife like during the promo. I go, dang. I was like, this is good, but I literally kind of almost hate him. I was like, which clearly he's doing his job, but sheesh.
I don't see this mythical monster anymore. I don't see this phenom anymore. What I do see is a broken down old man named Mark Calloway.
He rips me up and down. He talks about my wife.
Wow.
He crossed every boundary that I would never let anyone cross.
Mm.
And I think that's why it resonated so well with people.
I am going to take The Undertaker's soul at WrestleMania. And I promise you, I will literally put the nail in your coffin.
People may not be satisfied unless I push his face back in his head about 6 inches. It forced my hand with where I had to go with the character. Because I don't feel like, how does The Undertaker defend all the bad things that he said about Michelle? It's like, I can't go out there and be Undertaker. As great a character as the Undertaker persona is, you're handcuffed in a lot of ways to what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah.
Around 2000, I was starting to feel a little stale. When I looked at it, like, well, if I'm starting to feel stale with this, what is the audience going to feel like? Then second of all, our business was changing, man. It was evolving so fast.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
It was.
The character needed to change with the times, and the times were the Attitude Era, and everybody was louder, ruder, rowdier.
My mind is like, if I don't evolve this character somehow so that it fits in, then I'm going to get lost.
And it pops into my mind the debuted American Badass Taker, but as is Mark Calloway's true self.
I had to keep elements of The Undertaker, but I had to bring it into that era and make it work.
Here comes the real American badass, The Undertaker.
I agree.
I could talk as much smack as I wanted, didn't have to worry about traditional Undertaker character.
Let's let the pain and suffering begin.
I don't think the Undertaker would have lasted or survived if I hadn't made that switch.
He knows his character better than anyone else in the history of the industry, but he also knew when to change.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Changing
like that.
the mystique, the aura.
Show different lights and shades of gray and just take it in a different direction, but still stay true to who he is.
Although I don't dress like Satan anymore, I'm still down with the devil, and I will go medieval on your ass.
It just felt real. I think to them it felt like, okay, this is what the other side of that Undertaker is. And I guess in reality it really was.
As much as Mark Calloway is the Undertaker is Mark Calloway.
Exactly.
They've merged.
Much together and they make.
AJ Styles.
Oh, these ones.
Or should I say, Alan Jones. Man's crossed all those lines. He's not referring to me as Undertaker. He's referred to me as Mark Calloway. He has addressed my wife.
Yep.
Pay the ultimate price for disrespecting her. My wife, Michelle McCool.
This is where the man, he has to come forward too.
Try me. I'll make you famous.
I'm going to wrap all three of these guys together. It's going to be The Undertaker, it's going to be the American Badass, and then there's going to be Mark Calloway.
Yeah. Three together, mixed with merge. And it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love to hear.
You're going to have elements of The Undertaker, you'll have elements of the American Badass, and you're going to have Mark Calloway defending his wife's honor.
Most importantly,
And I can see it when I was done my reaction off in my head, in my mind.
Peace. The time that I agreed to do it, I envisioned us having a wrestling match in a wrestling ring in front of 80,000 people.
But when it was coronavirus,
we will have more cases. We will have community spread. That is inevitable.
COVID-19 is just so bizarre.
At that point in time, with everything that was going on in the world with the pandemic and everything, we kind of flying by the seat of your pants.
yeah.
We are in unprecedented time worldwide. Vince McMahon's mantra while owning the WWE has always been, the show must go on.
Our fans are the lifeblood of what we do. They deserve to be entertained, especially during this time, and we're driven to prove it.
It was pretty much confirmed that we probably weren't going to be at Raymond James Stadium. Always been one of the things that WWE does well, though, is we can shift on a dime and try to make something from nothing.
But when it was delayed by coronavirus,
One night event will still go on, but without an audience.
yeah.
Holy cow, the stadium's not going to happen. Holy cow, we're going to do WrestleMania out of the Performance Center. Holy cow, it's going to be 2 nights. We're going to have to.
And holy cow, there's going to be no fans.
Off-site, if they lend themselves to that.
They say anything can happen in the WWE, and the greatest show of all must go on, and it will go on right here.
Just crazy times.
It was crazy times for all of us, human beings.
Our audience is such a vital factor to our product. You just feed off their energy.
Feed off fans.
You're handcuffed in a lot of ways to what you can do and what you can't do.
But just watch their
I'm gonna
reaction.
bring back the Dead Man in a match that he would love to be in. A boneyard match.
When I got involved in the production side of it, I asked the question, so like, guys, what's a boneyard match? And they were like, I don't know. Like, you figure it out. We drive 40 minutes outside of Orlando, and we get there, and it's like a 1-acre plot at the end of a residential neighborhood. Michael Hayes and I get out of the car, and I'm like, you are kidding me. Like, this is not what I was expecting at all. It's got a barn on one end, and I was just and then Michael said, well, shit, this ain't gonna work.
But we played the cards cards that we were dealt, and it's one of those times where we turned chicken into chicken salad.
Yeah.
The transformation of this place is just, it's phenomenal.
It was.
If you'd have seen it the day before, you would have never expected it to look the way it did.
Taker came in the next day with AJ, walked him through it, what we were thinking.
All right, do your thing.
Oh, God! I can't breathe in there!
Taker and AJ both thought it was great concepts and ideas, so I went to Vince. With Vince, we'll shoot it cinematic, we'll do it with multiple cameras, kind of ran him deeper through the creative, and he was like, do it.
We got extremely lucky in the sense that we were able to go off-site and do this match off-site because of where the story developed and the severity and how personal it became when he crossed all the lines that he crossed in his promos. I don't think that you can have a wrestling match, which we always envisioned.
One of the all-time greatest match.
It turned out to
That match.
the best thing that we
For me, that match stole the night at WrestleMania 36. No doubts about that.
It was about, I don't know, a 45, 50-minute drive from the site of the Boneyard to the Performance Center.
Sorry, I just sneezed.
Triple H, Michael Hayes. My phone started ringing. And I looked down, and it was my niece. And then something just told me in my head, said, you need to answer that call. And it was probably the last ring before it was going to send it to voicemail, and I hit it and said, hey, what's going on? And she goes, my dad, my brother Tim, he says, my dad had a heart attack. I was like, oh, wow. I said, okay. What hospital did they send him to? He lives outside of Austin and lived. I asked her, I said, what hospital did they send him to? She said, no, Uncle Mark, he's gone. He didn't make it. In the middle of all this stuff going on, WrestleMania, when everything goes perfect, it's hectic and stressful. But now I have to call all my brothers and let them know, and call my mother.
Whew.
What that was going to do to her and not be able to be there. It's just another indication of how important being present with your family is, because you just never know what's going to happen. So it was an extremely rough day. It was hard too going to the next day with the loss of my brother. It's just as fresh as it can be. And then, you're in a boneyard match and everything's centered around being buried, and it's just like, man, it makes it tough. But at that point, the show must go on. And okay, how do we make this great?
WrestleMania 36, April 4th, 2020. I always love that song.
Wow, there he is. I didn't think he'd show up.
Yeah.
And does Michelle know you're half it's like she let you come out. Hey, I took the liberty of digging your grave for you. Doesn't it look nice?
Dug your own grave.
You think so? You think? Come on, old man. Yeah. Come on, let's see what you got.
I remember this match clearly. I was so worried about Mark Calloway as Taker, and just it was a good match. It was a brutal match. I will put a comment down below, and you go and see it for yourself.
That Boneyard match, 25-minute fight scene, and they beat the crap out of each other.
We're just getting started.
I remember every scene of it. I was just.
You ain't got what it takes, old man.
Goodbye. Oh!
Sorry.
Baby, really? I'm not. Come here, man.
There's a whole lot of people that give you that fight.
I like it when he turns around, kick. AJ Styles, rest in peace.
Although it was in a different format, you know when things are that good.
Yes,
I was really happy with the bike element
you stole the match.
thing there. Like, it was like this hellacious fight. Get on your motorcycle. And you ride off.
Right off to the sunset.
There was a lot more to the riding off into the darkness there. Obviously, there are a lot of thoughts going through my head as I'm riding off. This may be the last time I do this. It was a difficult night, and it was every bit as rough as it looked. 5 minutes into shooting, I put my arm through the hearse side window. It chews up my arm, so we got to stop shooting immediately.
You got color early. Your arm was across the back.
So they had to clean my arm out, dig the pieces of glass out of my arm. What happens when you film that way is you get started, and then there's a stoppage. They got to switch cameras around, they got to switch lighting around. And for me, with where I'm at physically, just standing in one place is the worst. Allows that adrenaline to come down a little bit, and then it allows whatever it is that's hurting, like, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's going to be bad tomorrow.
Yep.
It was just a really long night, and we wrapped at about 5 a.m.
That's why I feel. I just feel
everything we're going to be cool. And then when I saw the final product, I mean, it was like, wow, this turned out really cool. And then the feedback, that was icing on the cake. Everyone had nothing but positive things to say about it.
It was a good match. That match stole the night.
The performances in this were just phenomenal.
It was
Physical,
phenomenal, and one of
talking was spot on, selling, storytelling, all of it. And I think
and you almost got me. And you almost got me. All these mixed emotions and mixed feelings.
Especially his storytelling. If you look back at that build up, the payoff with the match, that's storytelling at its best.
Exactly. That's why he's mixed emotions for me, like just worried, sad.
Is it what I envisioned when I said yes to the match? Absolutely not. But it was damn good.
It was.
Damn good was what I was looking for. It's like, how do you top that?
2 weeks, months later. What's next for Mark Calloway? The person beneath.
There's no pressure out here. Just
Listen.
You know, it's time to relax and enjoy yourself. Forget about all the other stuff that goes on in the world.
I quite agree. Slow down the world.
The more that we get out here, the more he's not going to want to leave, and the more maybe he'll be at peace with whatever decision he makes, knowing that he has this to come to. And I like seeing him peaceful.
And I want him.
In the world, and that's where we're at.
And I really want him to be happy.
Yeah, I'd rather worry about you catching a fish than worry about you getting concussed, breaking a bone, busting an eye socket.
Makes sense. Considering everything that was going on, I feel very fortunate that we were able to do the Boneyard match. It was different, but still taxing on the body.
Yeah.
At the end of that shoot, I felt like, you know, I'd done a 45-minute match.
I mean, that was a rough week. So Tim, Mark's brother, passed us away. And then we went home, and it was that Sunday night that my nephew, Brett McCool, tragically passed away in a car accident. Just graduated high school. That's when you get really grateful for family.
Even before my brother passed, Kobe Bryant's death. It was amazing how that struck home. You know, it made me realize that, like, I'm not getting this time back, and it's time to be present and give home what I give the business. You never know. You never know when your number's going to get called.
That's what life's about. To hear her giggles. Hey, love, you come over here. Were you cheering for Daddy or for you?
I'm happy for the guy.
I'm glad I beat him. I'm glad I beat him like I did. I don't want to miss out on anything else because I feel like I have to have this certain match to walk away.
Yeah. Time for
my career, my legacy, it speaks for itself, and I'm happy with it.
I'm happy with you.
At the end of the day,
I'm with you.
That's really all that matters.
All I want is you to be
It's a
happy.
life that I need to go and experience and enjoy the fruits of my labor and enjoy the blessings that I have. My wife, my children.
He left a legacy a long time ago. Long time ago. It didn't matter if he never stepped in the ring these past 5 or 6 years. He left his legacy. That is stamped. And I think he gets that. And I think making that transition to where his identity is Mark Calloway versus Undertaker, I think it's rough. And I think now he trusts himself more to move into that avenue.
I believe I'm at a place now, post-Boneyard. It's like just won a hellacious battle against one of the best.
It was.
Here you are.
I was worried about him. I was literally, no joke at all. I was literally just my mind and these emotions and these mixed feelings. I just worried about him. I was literally worried about the guy.
If there was ever a perfect ending,
That's now.
That right there is it.
It's a perfect ending for your chapter. Riding off to the sunset in the middle of the night.
Would I come back? This time only tell.
Time will tell in the future.
In case of emergency, break glass, you pull out the Undertaker. I mean, I would have to consider that. Never say never, but
Never say never.
at this point in my life and in my career, I have no desire to get back in the ring.
I'll be with you in the future, dude. Thank you, Taker.
This time, Cowboy really rides away.
That's right. Right off to the sunset.
There's nothing left for me to conquer. There's nothing left for me to accomplish.
Just relax.
The game has changed. It's time for new guys to come up. The time just seems right. I think this documentary has helped me discover that.
And it's one of the greatest, Undertaker chapters of all times.
It's allowed me to
express your feelings.
As harshly on these last few years, to see things on a broader scale.
Express your feelings, express your inside in your mind.
They care for me.
I care for you. I care for you.
It's been allowing this part of me to come out and have people accept it. I've only given them the Undertaker. They had
and you did.
And I got Mark Calloway.
And I will say thank you.
Signs there that they've accepted Mark Calloway.
I accepted that.
I can do more
And I will say thank you.
outside the ring now than I can inside. And I'm finally at a place where I'm able to accept that. And I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it as well. And also millions of fans.
Two families. My wife and my children. And then my family on the road.
I still feel 25. Most of the time, I still raise a little cane.
I know this song will get copyright, but I had to. I'm wearing the Undertaker t-shirt.
Obviously, I can't name everybody, leave somebody out, but it's important to know how much you guys meant to me, not only on a professional level, but on a personal level. So many people that I consider true, great friends. I just can't thank you guys enough. Obviously, Vince always had my back, and I just say thank you.
I say thank you, Mark Calloway. Thank you. Thank you, Taker. Bringing the business, and thank you for so many memories, and I will literally say thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. I want to say thank you for so many times, because no matter what, I always gonna love Taker. I'm with him till the end, and then this is the end. Thank you, Taker. Thank you.
Tough life. And it's a rough one. And you have to have it within you to love for what you do. You have to have a genuine love for wrestling. Because this business is all about heart.
Awesome is the only word I can think to describe.
And as he debuted in Survivor Series,
From lightning in a bottle,
and I remember the Attitude Era when he
make it to the top, you've caught it. Man, he caught it for like, what, 30 years?
for the years he flied.
Raised the bar.
He raised the bar, and he is put in this business, and I still remember him to this day. Remember to him. Any wrestler I would say are still my favourite is the Undertaker. No doubts about that. My heart and my brain, and he's a fighter and he's a true leader, and he's loved the business and he loves his fans. And to me, I always say thank you. I don't know how many, plenty of times, or 1,000 times, if he's watching this right now. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the best times, and thank you for the great moments. You did.
All the injuries, and surgeries, and everything. I mean, I wouldn't change any of it. It's all part of my story. It's all part of the things that help shape the person that I am today.
You're a great person. You're a great human being. There is no one else be him today.
I'm gonna miss you guys. Most of you already do miss.
I miss.
I don't know one wrestler that's like, you know what, he's a piece of work, and that's the guy I can't stand. Guys love Taker.
I always loved Taker. I always loved Taker. I always got my respect for him, and I'm no matter what, I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him. There was not a new same without the Undertaker in WWE, and it's time for the end, for the chapter of him.
I fought against him probably more than anybody in my career. He never had an off night, ever. I learned a lot from him, dude. And I love him and I respect him.
I always loved the Undertaker.
Is the Undertaker. And everybody else down here. It doesn't happen without them.
The Undertaker will always be way up top. Top on this planet Earth. There's no Mark Calloway. There would be no The Undertaker without him. In one planet Earth in his hands. Without him, there would be no popularity. I know a lot of people say, oh, it was Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage. No, it was Taker. Taker was bringing that franchise up to WWE, and he brings that to sky high, no matter what. And it was him. Plenty plus years, and just wow, how he's still kicking to these years, and after that, and then the chapter literally just ended there. And then now forever, and I was literally say, for the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I said this I want to say this dozens of millions of times. Thank you, Taker. Thank you. And he is one of the greatest legacies, and one of the greatest. They should have made a monument of him, of his statue, and he should be in the Hall of Fame, and he is a true legend, and he is a real legend.
Every opportunity, from family to the business to his professionalism and who he is as a human being. That man can look at him and like, I did good. This business has given me everything.
I think what is people saying, oh, Vince made a business. No, it wasn't Vince who made the business. It was the Undertaker. He always has and always has been. And what's the next chapter for you, Mark Calloway?
I'm good with that.
I will see you soon, Taker. Thank you. And I will literally gonna say this one time and one time again. I just want to thank the Undertaker. This chapter is being hell of a ride. Hell of a ride. I don't care if YouTube had to take this video because this has been long enough, but and I'm gonna say this a dozens more times. Thank you, Taker. Thank you for the bottom of my heart. I love you, Taker, and I love you, Mark Calloway. Beneath that character, who create that character in life, there'll be no The Undertaker, there'll be no Mark Calloway, because with him there'll be no WWE without him, and I'm completely gonna miss him. I know, Joe. I am literally gonna miss The Undertaker, because, and my t-shirt just says, "Thank you, Taker." And who knows? I know we'll literally say "Thank you, Taker," and he's gonna ride off to the sunset, and I'll be riding off with him because he's one of my all-time favourite childhoods, and I'll always remember him to this day. And when I get old, when I get to his age, I will always remember of his one of his greatest matches and one of his greatest careers on WWE. Who knows? Please put your comments down below. What do you think of the Undertaker chapter? I think the Undertaker chapter, it's been a hell of a ride of a few months, and I've been really glad to listen to the Undertaker's story. And I think for me, if this DVD was out, I will literally get this DVD. But if WWE is listening, I think it'd be good to do this on DVD, because it is such an interest in the Undertaker chapter, and it's just, I love to listen to it again and again. But who knows? Please put your comments down below. If you like this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will see you in the next video. If you like, comment and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. And just my control is literally falling down. I will catch you in a flash, and I will say thank you, Taker, for dozens, millions times, for the bottom of my heart. I love you, Taker. I will catch you later. Thank you, Mark Calloway. I will catch you later. His yard. Believe that.
Dead man